Hello folks, Hot Rod Rodney 25 back for major changes part 7, I believe it is, of my major change video series. First of all, back in here, if you can see it, I just got blinded by my light. I turned it on the wrong way. But anyway, I repainted the river. As you can see, it's over in between those two bumpers now, as well as in between these two. I made it a little smaller in there so there'll be a little more bank, I guess you want to call it, around the bumpers and so forth. That way the water ain't so close. It'll look more further away this way. But anyway, I mentioned the building in the last video, how I painted the stripe on the top and front of the dock. This is what I've been working on some today. I've got some wiring in, and the tape is going to disappear, guys. It's just there so I know what switch is what, how I'm labeling them on the wires and everything. So, anyway, there's the number 1 switch, which will switch into the Tropicana plant with the orange juice cars. Switch number 2 will be like a secondary siding for more Tropicana cars if it's a busy day. Or it can be used for also yard cars from a train or whatever. Number 2 will switch straight into number 3, which will continue to go straight into number 4. But if we switch number 3, we've got that siding. If we go straight on number 3 and number 4, we'll have these two sidings off of number 4. So wiring on that one, wiring on that one, wiring on number 2, and wiring on number 1. I did a little bit of work on these tracks. I dug some of the dirt out, and the reason I had to do that is my cars was rubbing a lot of dirt. I may have put too much dirt down inside of the track, and it was fouling up the flanges of the wheels when they was going up or in here, and trying to derail when I was pushing stuff. So I've been trying to dig some of it out and taking some light sandpaper and different stuff and getting the glue residue and the glued any glued dirt and so forth off the top of the rails. I ain't much really worried about if I scratch these rails. They are just yard tracks. It's just old track. Old switches. So, and there's the clock. But anyway, moving right along. Really not much of anything else I can really show. Underneath this, you got those two wires. I've lost it. Where's the light? Those wires right there will be, they're ran for my bumper lights. When I get them in, they'll all hook together. Of course, each one having resistors, but they'll all come down and hook together into them wires. The wires are already ran, and you can see all my switch wires going over there to the same spot. If you can see that or not, there's a black wire hooked to the middle of all of them. That will be one of the feeder wires to the AC side of my transformer. Here's the wires. I've labeled them 4Y, 2Y, 1Y, and 3Y. They come up through that hole right there and come up, and I made a hole up through, you might be able to see it, where that tape is. It's right above that. I made the hole in the wrong spot. Let me see if I can. Right there is where they come through. But anyway, the wires are ran. This wire here, it says front left. That is for the switch that's over there behind that rock break or wall break, whatever you want to call it. It's a wall, basically. It's just a pass over. But anyway, this used to be brown, and I'm sorry, it looks like a catch-all right now. It's eventually going to get painted some kind of ugly color and have magic water poured in it. And yes, that is a sick pan that they give you at the hospital. Same thing as down here, only this is a blue one that I'm patching up. I'm finished. But up here there'll be a double track bridge going across this for my passenger train or trains, whichever happens. Probably one passenger train going across the bridge, and I think I was going to put a switch in somewhere and have it going across the second track into the yard, and the two turntables to the museum and the repair pit, and which will be inside that stall building right there. I hope all that stuff works. If it don't, it don't. No big deal, but I want to make like a museum with both of those turntables. And have that as the repair facility for the locomotive or diesel. Anyway, all this was brown. This was just a 2x4 collar, a collar of raw lumber. I painted it black because it's going to be part of this. Well, this was all brown. As you can see, the brown is still on the caulking that sealed this inside the wood right here that I cut out especially for that. I left the brown there. I painted everything black. And here was my original idea. I was going to take a piece of foam board, put it around there like so, because it bends easy as fascia, and I didn't want to have to paint the white, and plus this foam board, the paper on both sides peels off easy. So I took a piece of cardboard strip that was fairly straight when I cut it, and I used that as a piece of fascia with 3/8 by number 6 screws that I use for my track. I get these screws by the bulk up in Pennsylvania on eBay. There's a place in Pennsylvania that sells them like I'm not sure what the count of it is. If it's 3,000 or I'm pretty sure it's 3,000. I ain't sure on that. But I buy it by the bulk. I figured out that one day when I seen them on eBay, and I put them in my cart and bought them instead of going to Lowe's and buying little packs or somewhere to find the little boxes of them. I now buy them in bulk. Same way if the little wire holders, wire clips. I got 3 bags of those from China last year, and we haven't even made it through the first bag yet, so that's pretty good. I mean, that's probably 1,000 per bag, something like that. I'm not sure. I think we've got like 3,000 total of them, something like that. And we use a lot of wire clips to hold up wires everywhere, so we don't always drill holes in the framework like I did down here, which I kind of wish I wouldn't have now, but I didn't feel like crawling under there with a screwdriver and putting a bunch of clips in. So the drill did its job last night. Anyway, I put that piece of cardboard up as fascia to cover the underneath of the sick pan that I'm using for the water. and painted everything black, and I think it looks pretty neat. I mean, it don't even, you don't even know it's cardboard along there. I mean, it just looks like I took a board or something and bent it around there. I mean, when you get up on it, yeah, you can see the open parts of the cardboard, but I think it'll work. It just dresses it up nice and covers the underneath of it up. But anyway, guys, that's about it, I guess, for this video. I just wanted to update you on some stuff. Trying to think if there's anything else. I've ran my CMX car, cleaning car around here a few times. You can tell there's a little more shine to the track now. And speaking of track, when I was running the engines and everything around with the car, the cleaning car, my one engine stopped and the other one behind the cleaning car would spin. And so I gave it a push and it ran. And every time it would come around, it would stop right here. And I couldn't figure out, what was making the light blink or making the thing completely stop. I figured, it was because of all this dirt in here or something cutting the electric off. Well, I tore this piece of track out. I tore all this landscape scenery right here out because I'm going to make a path here anyway to get over from the other parking lot out here on the 8-inch piece. So I tore it out, heated this rail joiner up, pulled it off with a pair of needle nose pliers. I took this piece out, put the rail joiner on this piece, on this rail here, soldered it fast, turned it over, soldered a set of feeder wires, and I use speaker wire, guys, so but anyway, I drilled a hole right here. I always run my wires to the side, and especially here, I didn't have a choice because there's a brace right underneath this track, my 2x4 brace that's behind this furring strip board, or the 1x2, whatever you want to call it. But I drilled a hole, ran the wires over. I always solder my wires on the bottom of my rail joiners. It's just something I've always done. I've always soldered my rail joiners to the track the wires are being soldered to underneath. That way everything, when the power comes through that track, that piece of track, it won't have no loss of electricity into my rail joiners, and it'll power into the feeders or whatever it's powering and keep going. So hopefully this will when I get the wires hooked up, it'll solve my problem a little bit. Ever since I ran the cleaning car around there, and I tore this piece of track up and redid it, it hasn't did anything, hasn't stopped or blinked or anything like that. So I'm thinking it was more dirt that might have been in between the connections and blocking part of the electricity from getting through. So I cleaned the track up and soldered those rail joiners, put a set of feeders in, even though the feeders are actually, there is a set of feeders back here in the campground that you can't see, which is jumped to the bridge, I believe, or they might be back there, jumped to my junction terminals right there. But I cleaned all that up, and I'll probably put ballast down or something right there, and I'm going to make it so there's a walk-in crossing right there somehow. And when these crossing lights come on for a train, there'll be also a blinking red single light. I've also got those type of crossing signals with the signal or the single red light on them that blink. So I'm going to put one here for the walking path that's going to go across the railroad track. That way, when the train comes, that light will come on, and also the signal, and traffic will stop. People will stop walking and wait for the train, and there won't be everything will be safer. So anyway, basically that's about it for this video, I guess. It's up to 23 minutes already. Nothing's really changed anywhere else for right now. I think I'm going to call this video good. As you can see, I made a path to get up on the platform. I think I mentioned that last time. Once in a while I'll pile stuff there, and then I have to take it back out to get up there. I think that's about it for this video. As always, to the next video, like, share, subscribe, comment down in the section below, ding the bell for new videos. Thanks for watching, and Hot Rod Rodney 25 out.